Previously, in the Shattered Lands. Having survived the ambush by the bandits on the road, the heroes discussed their next move. They decided that Sir Venric, his squire Clay, and Rigel the ranger would take the draft horses and ride into town seeking supplies and to repair their damaged wagon wheel. This left Brother Bertram, Kepri the mage, and the drover Arnal to tend to the camp. Venric and the others rode into the village of Ruaven without incident. There they met with several of the town's residents, seeking both information and aid. They learned that the town was under threat by a vicious group known as the Bonebreaker Bandits, who seemed to be blockading the road into the village, though they hadn't attacked it as of yet. The villagers also informed them that a huge wyvern they had dubbed Bluescale had also begun recently preying on farms and travelers on the road. Desperate for help, the malicious sergeant sought to engage the party's help upon learning that they had defeated their ambushers. After purchasing a riding horse, the adventurers were able to engage the services of the town blacksmith to repair the wagon wheel. He had none in stock that would fit the massive traveling temple, unfortunately, and would have to repair the one they had brought with them, which would take time. Although tempted to stay at the inn overnight and wait for the repair, Sir Venric decided that with darkness coming on, and young Squire Clay enamored with a local tavern wench, it was time to get back to their comrades. Meanwhile, back at camp, the others spent their time in menial chores, but Bertram was watchful, feeling in his bones that something was off. The priest's hunch proved accurate, as yet another group of brigands assaulted the camp once more. Though not as numerous, it was still a tough fight, with half of the party gone to town. But quick thinking by the group, along with timely spells and uses of items, won the day. Arnal was badly wounded, and Kepri was shot in the shoulder with an arrow, an experience she found to be most unpleasant indeed. Venric and the others arrived back at camp not long after, and explained that the smith would arrive the next day with the wagon wheel. Arnal was healed, but they found he was getting sick, and they put the drover in Bertram's own bed. That night, Sir Venric took first watch, determined to keep his comrades safe. Not long after, however, he heard a roar in the sky and looked up to see flashing wings and blue scales. It seemed that the wyvern had smelled the carnage of the previous past days and had come to feast. Welcome to the feast.
Well, Itty.
I'm full.
So, before we get any further, Venric is the only one awake. He's the only one on watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hear this roar, and it will wake you up, but it'll be round one will be it and Venric. What is flashing through Venric's mind as he's standing up on this rock?
Oh, we're lucky. We can take this threat out. Save some time.
I love it. I love it. All right. Let me go to Battle Cam.
Battle cam!
Mm-hmm.
Good sweet lord, that's the size of a wagon.
So,
God.
to start with, luckily, we don't have that many cards.
Luckily, you say.
I mean, this
Add more
could be really
cards.
short. What's that?
We need more cards!
All right, let's see here. So, we have all the... For now, we only need... Have this ready. We need, of course, that card.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, that card. And I'm not going to put in the random card because while Venric might have a slight edge in his dexterity, he's also on the ground and he has heavy armor. And I don't actually know the thing's dex, so we only have 2 cards. So I'll let you guys decide. Actually, Venric, you should be the one to call.
Stop.
There was a 50-50 chance.
A new hand has touched the beacon.
With an ear-shattering roar. And you actually hear the thing speak. Meat! As it... And at first, Venric, you think it's coming down at you, and instead it flies over, slamming into one of the horses.
Oh,
Trees go flying, breaking, shattering as this thing comes down. It slams there and attacks that horse. Let me see if I can give you a slightly better or more horrific view. Yeah, there we go.
dude, this
That'll
thing
make
is
you look.
monstrous.
Why did I paint that thing?
For the record, he looks awesome.
Yes, he does. Very good job, Ben. Very good job, Rigel.
Painted him for no reason.
No. There's a reason. You painted him for me, as you paint all such things. I want a view though that shows the scale of the horses. Let me switch back to this camera.
Horses don't look so big.
And then you can even see in scale, like,
That thing is huge.
yep, it is huge indeed. Well, this thing lands, and again, Venric, you kind of question, did you just hear what you thought you, because you heard words as this thing swoops in. Be honest, is there a small part of Venric that's glad that it didn't swoop down on him?
Yes. Yes, there is.
All right.
More relief that it was, the horse over me, but also glad that it wasn't towards somebody else in the party.
And you guys that are inside these tents, I mean, these tents they're literally knocked half over. They kind of like begin to collapse in on themselves, especially the yours is okay, Venric, but like those ones closest to the wyvern they're collapsing. All right.
Definitely waking up.
First of
Blue
this thing's
scale
kept me
the whip.
snoring.
Yeah, this is louder than that. So it is flying. So what it's going to get is 2 claws and a sting as it comes in and lands.
Well, I hope you can hit his AC.
All right, the 2 claws will be these 2.
God dang, these are my horses.
Okay, so the sting is a nat 20.
That hit barely, but it did.
One of the claws misses, and the other claw hits a 24.
That also hit their AC of 12 and nothing more.
Okay. So, claw does 5 points of damage.
Still stands?
The stinger does 9 points of damage.
Ooh, that made it drop to -1.
And it needs to give me a saving throw versus poison.
Just, okay, 14 or better. It does not make it.
Okay. This horse just goes limp, and the wyvern's claws wrap around it. And I don't know if you guys can see the beautifully painted stinger right there. I mean, it's just tremendous job right there. Just, you can see. Sir Venric, let me pan back where we can see the stalwart knight.
All right, so I'm going to engage this thing. I don't know if I can get up to it and still have combat. I don't know, because I know
I'll tell you what, you can do one or two things. You can carefully pick your way down from this and move up, readying yourself, or I'll give you a heroic leap action from the top of this.
Oh, I'm gonna leap.
Okay. Here's what I need from you. I just need an acrobatics check, which for you will be dexterity, but it's with disadvantage.
So 15 and a 9, so the 9 gives me an 11.
All right, you only needed a 10. You kind of, as you leap down, you're an extra +1 to hit because you're kind of coming down with the full force and the fury and might of Sir Venric.
All right, and this is the only time I've ever been happy to use anything but the true steel. But this axe,
It is. Yeah, it is the dragon slaying axe.
yeah. So it's just +2 against all dragons, and
Oh, yeah.
So wyverns in the dragon family, then.
Yep, they certainly are.
All right, okay, here we go.
Especially this one.
Oh, that is a 23.
That, my friend, is a hit.
So I feel like I wrote this down wrong, UB, but I wrote +2d6 against all dragon kind. Is that correct?
Let me double check. I think that is correct, but I'm
Sounds
going to
like-
double check.
Sounds like Bane.
Because you got it a while ago.
It was all the way back in, I think it was in Fartham.
It's a bonus 1d6 points of damage, not 2d6.
Got it. Okay. That's for 10 points of damage.
Woo!
Nice.
He feels it.
Awesome.
And it kind of turns to face you, Venric. You dare. That's a pretty cool image, hey?
Oh, so cool.
I meant the horse. I struck the horse down and then I bowed.
Yeah.
I pledged my allegiance.
All right, we're going to switch back to this camera, just because I'm going to pan back and let one of you guys call this here shuffle, because this is important.
Stop.
Capri,
She's
You
gonna,
wake
yeah,
to this horrid sound.
she's gonna get up and open the door of the wagon. That's getting up, moving.
Yeah, getting up and
opening
moving to
door.
the door. She's like looking out the back. She doesn't see anything from this vantage, but she's kind of blearily peering out, like, what is happening? And you just hear this, you dare! And it's like the world is ending, it sounds like. And where there was no wind, it's like this thing's, its wings are just causing trees to move. And you can see, like you can see the effects, but you can't quite lay eyes on it.
Okay,
all right.
that's her turn.
Copper. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't one of these tents over here coppers, I believe?
I think so.
They should be. I think one of those is Coppers and one of those is Rigel.
We had Venric and Clay. I think Rigel was here. Was that, or which one of these was you, Rigel? Would you have been, or did you have a?
I think, didn't we put mine right next to yours, Joel?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So then, because I think, because that little tiny one is Arnal,
Right.
and then we had Copper. And I can't remember whose tent that was. Was that an extra?
Might be an extra because I don't have one.
Okay. I might have put too many tents up, but at any rate, Copper.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's that?
No, I was going to say, could it have been Arnold's? Because he doesn't normally sleep in the carriage, does he? Bertram?
Right. This was Arnal's.
Okay, my bad.
So you had Arnal, you had Copper, you had Rigel, and I think what it is I put an extra one out because I think one of them was supposed to be for one of the other NPCs, if I'm not mistaken. But I can't remember which one, and it's unimportant. I'm just going to leave it there, like you guys had an extra one, and just put it out. So, at this point, Copper gets up to his tent, falling down around him, and he is just going to move to get out. He kind of like stumbles out. What in the nine hells? The fire's like going out, and I'm going to say that these two tents they just collapse with the beating of this wyvern's wings consistently, and Copper just kind of clambers out to see what's happening. He's like, oh my gods! And that's all he can do. Squire Clay. He hears this.
He
Yes,
is still possibly half drunk from the night before.
Yeah, but he would hear this. I mean, he would definitely wake.
Okay.
I would think he would at least get up and come to the door to flap at the tent to see what's going on. That'd probably be about all he could do.
Yeah.
Okay, he kind of stumbles. He's like holding his head because he's got a splitting headache. And then he sees the horror. The absolute horror. All right. Arnall, he is feebly sitting up. That's all I'm going to give him because he is very, very sick. He is in the grips of this fever. Brother Bertram.
I'm going to say to Arnold, lay back down. And I'm going to get out of the wagon and see what's going on.
Okay, you get up. I'll let you get up and move out to the back. You have no armor on because you were asleep. I'll let you grab your shield and your hammer.
All right.
Okay. It's
By the
blue. It's the
light.
same color as you guys. It's friendly.
It's not one of us. It's an imposter.
By the end of it,
What was it?
it'll be a
What was it
red.
you said, Jerry?
It's not one of us. It's an imposter.
All right. Sir Venric.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to take another swing. Clay, stay in that tent. At me, beast. And I'm just trying to get his attention. That is a dirty 20.
Oh, that is a hit, sir.
Wowzers.
Okay, for 9 in his left leg.
Oh, man. You got a worthy foe. I need that remaining horse. I'm not giving it a save versus anything. This is a massive wyvern. It has to make a strength check to try and just pull free and run.
Okay, it got, a 14 plus 1 from its bonuses, so 15 total.
Oh, yeah. It snaps free and goes running off into the woods.
For the second time in this minute.
Yeah, it's just like, done.
Rigel's just going to be like, I quit. Benrick, your group sucks. I'm out.
Rigel the Ranger.
All right. Rigel would get up, reaching for his bow and quiver, and probably get to the entrance of his tent, and that'd probably be about as far as he could get.
Yep. You get out, and from your vantage, Rigel, I can grab your. At least grab your mini. Put you there because
Rigel will actually do the smart thing, and he'll kind of just get to the edge and like open up the flap just enough, but he's not actually gonna
Stick his head
out of it entirely.
Okay. You kind of peer around and you see Venric. You see him hit this wyvern, and as he does, he kind of savagely. The first time Venric, you slashed it in the right leg, and then the second time you hit it in the wing, and it looks just furious. And you see that as he scores a groove on this thing's wing, and it went dead last. And it unleashes its full fury on Sir Venric.
God, that's a cool image, though.
It really is. I mean, that's heroic. Let's just get you a little closer there because you were right up on it. You know, that's just okay. As this beast attacks with its bite, 2 claws. Let's see. Bite, 2 claws, and sting. That's what's added as the bite. So bite, 2 claws, and then we'll make sting. All right. So that's a miss. That's a 14, which is a miss. The other claw is a 24.
Hit?
Or no, sorry. That's the claws is 24. Sorry. And then the sting is a 26.
That's a hit, too.
Okay. So the claw. So he missed you with the bite, which is the big damage item. Claws you for, oh my god, 11 points of damage as he rips in to your chest. Your armor holds, but the sheer just punishing brutality of this strike, it slams you backward up against that rock. And as you're trying to drive forward with your shield and get it off of you, almost like in Aliens when the queen's tail will just come whipping around, that's what happens. It like comes around the side and strikes you. The tail hits you for 8 points of damage as it pierces you in your right arm, your sword arm, like right up in the bicep and shoulder area. It slams through, just shattering through the chainmail, bending in the plate, driving it actually further into the wound. And are you conscious?
Yeah, still conscious.
Give me a saving throw versus poison.
Yep, I needed a 12. I've got a 13.
All right, Venric stands. Woo!
Ooh.
Oh boy.
If that would have just about been anyone else, that'd have been Romy 3d6.
Lights out.
All right, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Guys, I wish I'd had you call this, and I'm not lying when I say
He's pissed, guys. He's pissed.
Ouch.
oh God, Venric, you have to weather another round of this. Bite, tail, claws. Okay, the bite missed again. Actually, I think both claws missed. 16 and 17.
Yep, misses.
The tail, however, hit a 24.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Venric, you're going to take another 7 points of damage. As this time the tail whips around, you're blocking with your shield and sword and trying to strike away, and you do. But this time the tail whips in from the other side, just hitting your left leg and like your lower thigh. It just pierces. And are you still conscious?
Still conscious.
Give me a saving throw versus poison.
Got a 15.
All right. Give me now a saving throw versus paralysis to keep your feet with that much damage in 2 rounds, plus it slamming into your leg.
Okay. Is that just off the P?
Yeah.
No, I got a 3.
Okay, so Venric, you get slammed back. It's just this thing's massive. And you actually go flying into this small tent that's Arnall's. You kind of fall into it, collapsing it. And you're knocked off your feet. Which actually, let me shift over here to just show you the wide shot view.
Oh boy.
Brother Bertram.
I'm gonna rush to Venric and cast Cure Moderate on him.
Oh, you got some of those left, huh?
I have all of those left, sir.
Oh,
Bertram is my homie.
For 7 hit points back.
all right.
God, thank you, Bertram.
Sir Venric.
I get up and I move into combat with this thing again.
Woo! Venric coming on strong. As you do, Venric, this thing looks at you as like, the meat has courage. How delightful. Oof. The next fastest would be Kepri.
Okay. I'm gonna get out of the wagon and then hide underneath it.
Okay, Kepri, you clamber out, you get underneath. Kepri, let me get you a little bit better view. As you do, you look over at this thing. Give me what knowledge skills do you have?
Let's see. As a wizard, second. It says all.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a knowledge.
Okay.
Start with knowledge arcana.
Oh, nat 20.
Okay. As you look at this thing, you realize this is not a normal wyvern, and its scales are blue, and you're just getting a look at it. But all right, I will switch to me, and maybe this is a bad thing to do, but I'm just going to ask, how many of you guys have seen the newer Godzilla movies?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
So, you know how when it starts glowing, and Kepri, you realize this thing, there's like a crackling of electricity around it, and you realize this thing, in a flash, you realize two things. One, you remember an old teacher of yours saying there are times that some dragons would actually mate with other dragonkin like wyverns if their, lust and desire was upon them. And sometimes they would breed. They would never breed true into a true dragon. However, at times they would breed highly intelligent, highly powerful wyvern. They were that would have draconic qualities. And you realize this thing is getting ready. You're pretty certain to unleash some type of lightning attack. And you realize all this is you're scrambling under the wagon.
Okay, and talking is free, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so she's gonna scream, Frederick, it's charging an attack! Get out of the way!
Copper. Oh boy. Copper is terrified. But he is going to pull his bow. His boy is there. He's like, are we fighting this thing? And he is going to go ahead and pull his bow and take a shot. He is very afraid. Wow, a 1. His bowstring snaps. And he shoot, and he's like, God, he backs up. He's like very, very fearful right now. Arnall. Arnold's gonna stay in the traveling temple. He like sits on the edge of the bed, I'll say, and he's like, Sir, Kepri, what's happening out there? Squire Clay. Venric, you know what I'm gonna need. You're in peril, buddy. I need a morale check to see if Clay obeys your orders. He can't. He's like, Sir! He's like screaming at the top of his lungs, seeing you just heroically battling one-on-one this beast. And again, I mean, just look at that. That right there should be some kind of a art.
So I needed an 8. I rolled a 7.
Okay. He's standing at the tent, holding his spear, screaming, Sir Venric! And you can barely hear it over the roar of this wyvern, and the flapping of these wings are all over. And yeah. Okay. Clay holds. Nigel.
All right. Rigel is going to lean out and take a shot at this thing with his bow.
All right.
Let's see. That's going to be a 16.
All right. That is a hit.
Okay. That is just for 2 points of damage in the left leg.
Insect.
And then Rigel is going to move. Let's see. Yes, he is going to move 40 feet past Bertram and try to get behind those rocks that are to Bertram's right.
Okay. Rigel easily can do that. You get over to about here.
Perfect.
Move that tree. Into cover. Nice, solid, and complete cover. The horse is gone, so I'm going to remove that card because he's long gone. All right. Super duper important, and I'm just going to have you guys call it again because... quit knocking things over, Brad. And I'm just going to go ahead and just do this, and you guys can call it because, it's well, I'm even a little nervous. I'm like, what is about to happen here?
Now.
I don't even know.
I think Kate said now.
Huh?
I think Kate said now.
Oh, I'm sorry. She did?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, let's keep... You say now again when you're done, because I didn't hear you.
Now. Oh dear God! I'm done doing that. I'm never doing that again, you guys.
Oh
Oh my God, what are the odds?
Pretty
Okay.
freaking good.
Wowzers. All right. And it's like that moment in one of those, and I love the newer Godzilla movies. If anyone doesn't, I'll fight you for it. But anyhow, and he kind of he just opens his maw, Venric. And this isn't a line. What this is almost like a cone of electricity. It's not as concentrated and therefore not as powerful, but this electrical fan just slams into Venric, Bertram, and Copper. Saving throw versus breath weapon for half damage.
I'm so glad I moved.
Yep.
Nope, I take full damage.
I got it. I needed 13. That's what I rolled.
Okay. Oh, Copper, buddy boy. This is so important. Oh, let's see. Oh my God! You know what? We need dice cam for this nonsense. Here we have black die that has always been Copper. Copper needs a 16 versus breath weapon.
That's what I needed.
That is a 9. Copper he's like backing up. He thinks he's gotten himself to safety as this just bluish arc fan of electricity. Okay,
Copper is a great conductor.
it's true.
So then it should pass through him and not hurt him.
Quickly, hold my hand.
Okay, so who made their save?
Venric did.
Okay. Benric, you take 14 points of damage.
Oh my God!
Bertram and Copper take 28 points of damage.
I'm out.
Copper falls and is very still.
Ooh.
And with that, his wings lift him up off of the ground to a height of about 20 feet as he begins flying away with his prize, the horse. Yet stand, valiant warrior. I give you your life. Seek me again at your peril, or go your way in these shattered lands. The Crimson God ascends, and our time is at hand. Copper is not with us any longer. Clay.
Clay is going to... He's going to run to Bertram and give him a potion.
All right. Clay runs over there. Brother Bertram!
For 5 points of healing, Brother Bertram.
I am at 0.
Oh! Very good. Bertram, you're still unconscious, but Clay, as he pops this potion and pours it down Bertram's throat, he is like, he realizes that, like, okay, he's still alive. He's breathing, and he kind of yells back at you. He's breathing, sir. He's breathing. He's alive. Bertram's alive. Apparently, he ran right past Copper because Copper is so still, he's almost certain that he's dead. Peppery.
She's gonna scramble out from under the wagon. Copper! She's gonna run over to him and see if she can help him.
All right. She runs over to the smoking, still form of Copper. Give me a heal check.
I got a 16.
Okay, you realize Copper is in very, very bad shape. And beyond any healing, you're looking for a pulse right now, and that's what your turn is. You're trying to ascertain if he is alive or dead. But you like, maybe, I don't know, you can decide this, but maybe tears start to hit your eyes. You realize you think he might be dead.
Oh, God.
All right.
Yeah, she's flipping out.
Okay. Bertram is at 0. Rigel, who wisely saw cover.
Rigel is simply at this point going to knock a bow, or knock an arrow rather, and just creep around the right side of that rock to where he can see this thing as
He
it's
can see
kind
it,
of
just for the record, he can see it from where he is.
Okay.
Just if
I
it
didn't know his line of sight.
Yeah, I'll give him line of sight from there, just kind of
Okay.
peering up. If you don't want to move at all, if you want to hold your action.
Yeah, he's just gonna hold this arrow knocked and ready to go, but he's not gonna lose it at this point.
That's what I thought you were leaning toward, and that's what I wanted to say. I don't want to cost you movement if you didn't have to take it. Because he could hold, because kind of hard to see with that tree there. But yeah, this thing's rising up into the trees.
Oh, okay. That'll work.
Sir Venric.
Okay, Venric is going to kind of limp back towards Bertram. I mean, pride wounded and everything, but I am on my last leg, so I'm going to move back to Bertram and try to find a potion on his person.
All right, you move and begin searching. Bertram, do you have a potion?
I have 1 potion.
Okay, you find a potion, but you can't give it to him quite yet because you had to move and then search. Arnall comes to the door because he hears, the screams. He's like, "Sir, Brother Bertram!" And he's like leaning half out the door, ready to fall over. Next round. Kate, you want to call it?
Oh.
Okay, here we go. I'll just call it. Brother Bertram is unconscious. He was our first card. Sir Venric is our second card.
Okay, I'm going to give that potion to Brother Bertram.
Gurgle, gurgle.
Just a D6 on that, Bertram?
Yep, D6 plus 1.
D6 plus 1.
All right, so 5 HP.
All right. I'm at 5 HP.
Bertram, your eyes snap open as you kind of look around confused. All right. Rigel.
All right. Yeah, he's still gonna hold. Again, has an arrow knocked and ready for this thing, but he's not gonna shoot.
Okay. Capri.
Yeah, she's trying to see what can be done. I know a potion isn't going to help him, but if a poultice could be of use, she'll do that.
She realizes it. We'll get to that. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Next fastest in this case would be Blue Scale the Wyvern. Fare thee well, brave warrior. And as he gets up to about 80 feet, he's well above the trees, his voice booms out. What is thy name?
Sir Venric, True Steel.
Perhaps we shall meet again. And he takes off, dead horse still clutched in his talons. And with that, Blue Scale is gone.
As soon as he is out of eyesight, Venric kind of lets down in some of the bravado, and he's just just messed up. That thing was a turn away from ending him.
What did it take you down to?
He got me down to, at one point he had me down to 6, and then I was healed back up to, no, I'm sorry, he got me down to 12, then I was healed up to 19, and then he dropped me down to 5.
Well, for what it's worth, you jacked him up with that axe. I mean, you definitely hurt him. I mean, that's one of those things where I was like, wow, man, if this keeps on, but then,
It's losing a fight's not as bad when you know you hurt your opponent. When you know you hurt
Right.
them, even if you lost, you're like, at least you're going to feel me in the morning.
Right. Oh, he's
That's true.
definitely felt it. So, here's what we're going to do. Copper. The still form of Copper. Lying in the mud. The center of camp. You guys kind of turn and look, and you see Kepri's over. She's trying to figure out something, anything she can do. And let me check Copper, because this is really super critical. Copper has already had a permanent injury, like I thought, because if you remember, his ribs were badly broken.
By those cultists.
So, just so you know, Copper was taken to... Oh, no, that's the wrong... Copper was taken to negative 14. His constitution is a 10. So, as the DM, I have to, let's do this. As we go to the dice cam. And we roll a d6 for the fate of our brave thief rescued from Fartham. What's going through Kepri's mind as she's searching for a pulse right now?
Panic. She's screaming at the others who seem to care so much about Bertram, like to come and help her. And she's like, this can't be real. Like, he was just fine a little bit ago.
What is Venric thinking as he's staggering backward, and the damage he's himself inflicted, pouring? You look up, you see Kepri screaming this. What goes through his mind?
Benrick kind of feels like Tom Hanks did in the beginning of Saving Private Ryan, where he's like shell shocked and everything's ringing around him.
Yeah.
He kind of feels like that. And he shakes it off.
Shaking his head.
He
Maybe pulls his helm off.
Yeah, he pulls his helm off and kind of shakes his head a little bit, and he sees Copper, and he just thinks to himself, "Oh God, I hope I haven't led this man to his death."
What goes through Bertram's mind as he sits up, eyes open finally?
Bertram still also shell-shocked from that. The last thing he's trying to do is get to Sir Venric, so he's still trying to look around to see where Venric is so he can heal him.
Okay, and you look over. Rigel, you barely knew him. What's going through your mind?
Rigel is honestly, in a weird way, this whole thing is actually confirming why he's here with Sir Venric. This is quite literally the mythological version of a knight that you're standing against. Essentially, to him, is what a dragon, and standing
Very nearly.
to live to tell a tale. So it's kind of, he's realizing this is why I'm here.
All right, I'm gonna roll a d6 for Copper. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
4. Serious injury. Copper sustains a terrible injury where he was laid low. Any healing applied could possibly bring him to stabilization, but he's in and out of consciousness. He'll need weeks in the care of a healer. And for the first week or more, he'll be delirious with pain and fever. This will become a scarred old war wound that will have permanent in-game effects as adjudicated by the DM. So we're going to roll to see where Copper took the brunt of this blast. Obviously, it hit him all over, but this is the area where it really just slammed into him. His right leg. It just lacerated up Copper as he turned to try to leap away from this. However, as he did, like this, just like these licking lightning bolts just slammed into like his knee, calf, and thigh, and literally, and you could see now, Kepri, you're finally able to see where the worst of this wound is. It just ripped through the flesh, and chunks of the meat are burned. The stench of flesh, ozone hangs heavy in the air, and you realize he definitely needs he needs the care of a healer. He needs, more than anything, you realize now that probably a poultice, but it needs to be done right. Like, this wound needs care and not just a poultice slapped on it. And you're almost glad you didn't just pour a potion down or slap a poultice on it, because he is since the lady playing Kepri is a nurse, I mean, I don't know what sustained lightning like that would do to someone's leg. I'm guessing just rip through it, burning things, maybe even burning the bone.
Yeah, I mean, it would be charred black, probably, and it just, like almost torn apart.
Okay, so what this is going to mean in game, unless you guys leave Copper to die, which you may, he is going to permanently lose 5 foot of movement from here on out. He'll go down to not 40 but 35 feet of movement in his light armor, because he is just simply that leg is never, and as a man who's had several surgeries on my right leg, let me tell you, he's never going to it's never going to bend the same, straighten the same. He's going to have constant pain, and he is in real bad shape, Kepri.
Bertram, can you do something?
What? I look over, and yes, I immediately go to Copper and just see what's the best course for me to take.
All right. You realize he's, luckily the lightning maybe cauterized some of, so it's not so much he's bleeding, but there are just chunks of meat, and you really need, first of all, you need to get him out of this mud where you can clean him up.
Okay. I'll gently try and lift him without damaging him more, and I'll carry him into the wagon.
As you start to, it looks like his leg is starting to tear, and some of the meat is starting to come off, and somebody's going to need, like, Kepri, you quickly grab onto his leg, because you realize even the bone looks damaged, like he could lose his leg if you're not really careful here.
Let's go in sideways, very careful now, and I'll lift him into the wagon. Arnold, I need the bed.
Arnold's out of the wagon. He's like, God, Copper, and he starts walking towards you. Okay.
And I'll gently lay him in the bed.
All right, you get up in the wagon. It's kind of a bit of a chore because you have to kind of get up in first and then gently heave him up in. It's essentially like getting him into an ambulance, but you guys didn't make a stretcher, so you got to be real gentle and careful. Kepri holds him up as best she can, and then finally, Bertram, you are able to get him into the bed, and you lay him down, and you realize you need some time to work on him. You need to clean his wounds. Kepri, since you're there, you can help him, perhaps, because you're gonna need some water. You're gonna need some gauze, some bandages. You need to apply. Roll me a D3, Bertram.
Two.
You're gonna need to apply 2 poultices to him.
Okay.
The damage is so extensive. He does not have any, by the way.
I have one.
Okay.
Kepri. Okay. I'll apply them both carefully and cleaning, and I just keep calling stuff out to Kepri and water, bandages.
As you guys are doing,
she's scurrying around to get it.
Water and stuff like that.
Okay. And you guys, Rigel begins to run for water and doing all of the things that he can think to do to help. And meanwhile, back out in the camp, Venric, you kind of blink and you realize you're sitting down. You don't remember sitting down, and Clay is at your shoulder. He's like, sir, and again, it's just like you said, like one of those war movies where it's like, sir, and then you finally kind of look around and you realize you just, your axe and shield fell from your nerveless hands. You had never been hit so hard until an ogre hit you, and then now you've never been hit this hard until this wyvern. This is the hardest. You know, you fought some big things, but you kind of look around and Venric is like, or Clay rather is like, sir, are you all right?
Oh, yes, I'll be fine, Clay.
Let me help you, please. Let's get you up out of this mud.
Take his hand.
He kind of like, and you realize as he's helping you, for all that he's thin, all the training and the exercise, Clay's getting stronger. He helps you stand to your feet. He leans down, grabs your axe and your shield, gives you his shoulder, and he leads you back. And Arnall comes over real quickly, limps over. He's coughing. He's like, I got him. I got his other. And he kind of helps you over to the tent, Venric. And you know, kind of maybe glance back at the tent. You see Rigel like rushing out, getting some clean water. And then Rigel, you realize Bertram has told you it needs to be boiled. It can't just be, you know, it can't be contaminated. So he's setting a pot. He's getting the fire going back up. And Venric, you feel like there's something you should do to help, but you're having a hard time kind of breathing. It just, you got hit so hard, and then that electrical that lightning attack, it just like stole almost all the breath from your body, and you're, even though you threw up your shield to like bear the brunt of most of it. Oh, by the way, your shield is not magical, correct?
Correct.
Okay, it was gonna be your armor, but it won't be because you did have your shield. So it will be your shield that has to make an item saving throw. So, you're gonna need a 12 or better on a d20.
That is an 18.
Okay, your shield held. Part of it, the metal is like fused a little bit and like a little almost melted just a little bit, but it didn't punch through, and you realize that's probably what saved your life. It's not so much you dodged out of the way, but you kind of threw it up and it slammed into you, knocked you back, but it spared you. Bertram, by the way, because you were dropped down, you had a shield, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but it is magical, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with it being magical, it gets to save with advantage. You need a 12 or better.
Yeah, I also got an 18.
All right, your shield held, and essentially it was just, you did not get it up quite as quickly as Sir Venric. And that's why you were like, Venric was like, ah, and you were kind of like, oh, and it hit you kind of like at that point. And let's see, Bertram, you were hit mostly. Yeah, you were hit mostly in the part of your beard is like singed and burnt up, like where it's longer. It's like on one side, and you got like these like burn marks on your face. And Kepler, you notice as he's working, he keeps kind of wincing, and almost like a real bad sunburn. And Kepler, you realize he's burned pretty badly himself. And at one point, she kind of maybe hands you well, it's up to her, but she might hand you a wet cloth to put in it or something like that. But as you know, sweat kind of, as you're working on copper, as you're sweating, you could feel the sting of this. And again, Venric, it's kind of like an all over, just, it's not as bad a burn. You had your helmet on, got your shield up, but it's like your muscles, it's like the worst workout you could imagine. Everything is just clenched and tight as this electricity, because you were so close to the blast. And Venric, you actually, they get you to your cot, and you know, they're like, please just sit down.
I do.
Okay. Give me a saving throw versus paralysis.
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
Okay. You just collapse into unconsciousness. You're fine. You're not losing hit points or anything like that, but just the whole ordeal, you're like, all right, just I'll sit down for a minute. And you kind of lean back. You just kind of, before your head hits the pillow, you just loll back and you pass out. A couple minutes later, Clay runs to the wagon. He's like, Venric passed out, but he's okay. Arnold said he's breathing good. How's Copper?
He's dire, but I still got to work. I think he'll make it if we can get him to a temple to recover. Is the water ready?
And you see Rigel at that time, he's kind of coming back. He's got boiling water. You got it wrapped around with a cloth.
Bertram will just keep working.
Okay.
And then when he feels that he can leave Copper, he will go check on Sir Venric. But he won't leave until he feels that he can.
You work on Copper for about an hour, and then you finally put the healing poultices on him. Make sure you mark those poultices off. You finally put those poultices on him, and in the strategic places where the damage is the worst. And Bertram, you lament a little bit, wishing Gedwin was here or Fiona. They have that little bit more, especially her. She had a much gentler healer's touch, But you're here and you're able to do the job, and you realize you probably are saving his life. And Kepler, you realize as watching Bertram work that someone not knowing what they're doing could have caused him to die or at least lose the leg. And you realize with Bertram doing what he's doing, Copper kind of settles. He's deathly pale, and his chest is barely rising as he breathes, but he is going to live. And Bertram kind of wearily, he wipes his face, wincing in pain. And, Bertram, you wipe across and you realize he'll live.
Kepri, keep an eye on him. I have to go see about Venric. You did good. And then I'm just going to go straight to Venric.
Okay. You kind of go out the back. Rigel, what would you have been doing once that you got the supplies that they needed you to get and stuff?
I would start going through those wrecked tents and seeing what the damage was, and trying to, if they were broken, I would try to, maybe get some sticks together that I could at least, do a makeshift tent or something like that if we, needed to.
Okay.
But
all right. So, Rigel, you were saying you were going to start looking and see what you could do with the tents, correct?
yes, try to get those fixed up as much as possible.
All right. You realize that they're not in really that bad a shape. They're a little torn in places, and the tent poles are, one of them snapped clean in half. The others are just collapsed. They're just going to need some patchwork done to them. You're able to cobble together one for now. You might need to spend a little coin and some time to get the other two repaired. But none of them are. It was more like the wings, and then the one where Venric was just thrown through it. That one. That's the one that you realize the tent pole snapped as the heavily armored knight flew into it. But they're not like it. It was just like they got knocked over. So you're able to get. I'll say you're able to get two of them up. I said one, but really I think two of them. Just the one you realize you're going to need time to. Really all you need is another tent pole, which you could even cut out of the woods, but it's also the middle of the night.
Yeah.
All right. And Rigel, is there anything else you'd be doing out there?
As soon as he kind of realizes the state of that, he is going to, because the one horse got away, correct?
The one horse ran off.
So he's going to go. He's going to light a torch, and dive off into the woods looking for this torch, or for this horse rather.
All right. Does he just leave?
Yep.
Okay. And no one knows he's even going. Just dips out. All right, Rigel, you head out into the. And it's like a couple minutes later. Bertram's like, the camera cuts away. You see Bertram. The door opens to the traveling temple. All right, keep an eye on him. I'm gonna go check on Venric. And you come out and you realize, just like there's a fire going because Rigel got it going for the water to boil the water and stuff. He built the fire up and stuff. But he's, you recognize that it seems very deserted. You kind of make your way over to the tent, Bertram, and you enter and you see Arnall and Clay are kind of standing there because Arnall stayed with Venric while all that was going on. Meanwhile, Rigel, you plunge into the forest. Give me a survival check.
Okay.
It is, however, the dead of night, so it won't be with advantage. It won't be with disadvantage like it would a regular person, but just normal.
Just flat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is a 15 on the dice, so plus 1, so 16.
All right, your woodscraft holds true, and you're able to pick up you saw the direction it went. You're able to pick up its trail. Roll me a d6.
Okay. That's a 6.
Okay. No encounter. You make your way. You get close, and you see the terrified horse is standing underneath of a tree. It's like you can see at 20 yards, it's shivering. It's trying to, it's not even eating grass. It's just shivering, kind of looking around and stuff.
I'm going to, since what was it? Literally, I think yesterday in the timeline, just had to go do this before with them. So they would kind of be fairly used to me. I'm going to just kind of lowly bray into this thing and start kind of slowly moving towards it. Again, keeping myself small, but I'm just kind of going to make some noises to see if it will spook or if it's going to spook.
All right, give me a handle animal check with advantage and add +2 because it, to whatever your normal roll would be, because it does. You've garnered some trust there.
Okay. So that's a 19.
All right, and it lets you get in close, and it actually, as you get closer to it, Rigel, it's like relieved. You realize you kind of lay a hand on it.
Isn't it?
No, not this one.
Not
this one was not. This one's damaged at all, was it, Bertram?
No.
Okay,
no. The other one, the wyvern just killed it, like clawed into it, hit it with the stinger, bit into it, and this one snapped its lead and just ran off. But it kind of like it's trembling violently, and you kind of doubt that clambering up on its back is a good idea, and you kind of stand there for a good 5 minutes just talking to it, and you hold the lead. It kind of just, whinnies at you low and nervous, but it does calm to where you can lead it back to camp.
Yeah, I'll just walk it back, and just kind of the whole time, I'll have like the torch in one hand with the lead here, kind of out here, and I'm just going to constantly be having another hand on like the horse on its either neck or its back or something like that to just constantly try to keep it calm.
All right. And you slowly work your way back. Meanwhile, in Venric's tent, Bertram, you go and you walk in, and you can see Arnall and Clay are kind of just next to the bed. Arnall's sitting down on Venric's camp chair, which is just like a little folding stool type thing with canvas bottom. Clay is just standing there nervously looking at his fallen master. And as you kind of walk in and walk over to look at him, Venric's eyes kind of snap open. And he kind of sits up with a groan.
Easy, Venric. We need to get that armor off you, and I gotta see to your wounds.
All right, Clay, if you would give me a hand.
Yes, sir, of course. And Clay and Venric start, taking him out of the armor. And, as you get him peeled out of the armor, you take off his tunic, he's down to his skivvies and stuff, and you're checking him. And Bertram, you realize where with you it kind of hits your face, and as you're looking at him, Venric, you can see like he's got these terrible like jagged wounds and burns on his face, and half his beard is gone. Venric threw up his shield, and it kind of stopped a lot of it, but his off shoulder down into his side are where a lot of this lightning just laced up the side, burning him and lacerating him. He's okay, he's gonna be all right, but he's gonna have some decent scars from that.
I'm just gonna kind of like check his body out and say, I think here's some exercises that might help with some of the stiffness to work it out over the next few days. But here, let me heal you, and I'm gonna cast a Cure Mod on him. That'll heal you for 6 hit points. Light heal this valiant warrior. And I'll use another one on you. That is first. 9 hit points. How does that sit with you?
Much better, Brother Bertram. Thank you.
Is anyone else wounded?
I don't think so. I don't know if Rigel got it. How is Copper?
He's very, very wounded. He's stable for now, but barely. We need to get him to a temple.
There is a temple.
Oh, good.
In Ruaven.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it. Fiona spoke of it at times.
Yes. Actually, come to find out, she's from Ruaven.
Yes.
Perhaps you could meet her family, Brother Bertram.
Maybe. Are you still injured at all?
Well, yes. Yeah. Not as bad. It's not as dire anymore, but I am still injured.
I'm going to use my Amulet of Recall and do another Cure Mod on you. That's for 7. 9 more.
That puts me at 29 of 38.
Okay, well, I'm going to use some Healing Hands, which I have all 4 of those.
Does anyone else need the healing, though, brother?
Arnall is okay. Kepri helped me. She's okay. I haven't seen Rigel. Was he hurt?
Where is Rigel? Clay, where's Rigel?
Clay, are you okay?
Clay is like, I am. I didn't. I followed orders. I didn't fight it.
Good.
And he's like, I don't know where Rigel is. I saw him getting water earlier and helping. I don't see him. Do you want me to look for him?
No, don't leave the camp. If I know Rigel, he's doing something. He's probably after the other horse.
He's probably okay enough to move.
I'm assuming he didn't catch any of the blasts. I saw him dive behind the hill. It was wise.
Well, let me finish this with you, Sir Vendor.
Speaking of the horses,
that's 5 more you get. That is 6 more you get on top of that. Where's that?
I'm at full.
Okay. Okay, I'll save the others for if Rigel is hurt. The horses you were saying?
Yes, the wyvern took off with one of them, but yeah, I guess we didn't, because the horses parked. I don't know if it was your horse that it took off with, or the one that I just bought. I have no idea, actually.
It was one of the draft horses. I forgot to put the riding horse even out there, so I will just say that the riding horse was smart enough to like immediately bolt away, and it just kind of came back. And actually, Rigel, as you're coming back to camp, you see the riding horse, and it's kind of nearby, like it's found looks like an apple tree it's kind of munching off of. It's withered apples that have fallen to the ground, and you take a couple minutes and approach it, and you're able to collect its reins as well.
Pick one of those apples up and kind of, feed it to it, and again, pet that one for a minute. We'll keep the other one within, arm's reach a little bit, but without kind of getting too close for them to, kind of freak each other out. But I'll kind of feed them both an apple, and then once they're kind of calmed down a little bit, I'll walk them back into camp.
Are you hurt, Rigel?
And you see as Clay is like, he looks and sees, here's the wicker of the horses. He glances across the camp as Rigel. He's like, there he is. And Rigel comes in leading the riding horse and the draft horse. Sorry, Jerry. I know you want to jump into healing everybody, but I want to kind of let the role playing just breathe for a second. What is Kepri doing?
She is sitting with Copper. She pulls Bertram's chair over by the bed, and she's just sort of holding his hand and just sitting with him.
All right, he is very still, but he is breathing, and there's a part of you that just, you're very grateful he's alive, but there's a part of you that realizing what you all just faced, it's shocking that any of you are alive. And you, just as you replay the events in your mind, you realize it's what's really incredible to you as, the act, just the brute strength of the beast, but also that someone like Venric, the mighty warrior that he is, was able to stand and go toe to toe with that thing. It's just incredible in your mind. You know that thing, one swipe from that thing's claws would have just eviscerated you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Bertram, you can see to Rigel's healing.
I'm actually untouched, Bertram. Luckily, I dodged behind those rocks before anything happened.
With that, Bertram is just going to walk over to the wagon, lean against it, just sink down, and just kind of close his eyes.
Okay. Kind of leans back. Again, you're hurting pretty bad too, Bertram, for your injuries. And a couple minutes goes by, and you feel a hand on your shoulder, and you look up to see Arnold. He coughs. Sir, you should get out of this weather. Come on, get in the wagon. Don't lay here.
You as well, Arnold. This is no good for that cough.
Right, yeah, let's both of us. Come on, sir.
Very well.
And he's like, and Venric, you feel a lot better. Bertram, you climb up on the back of the wagon. You can see Kepri is over there. She's kind of just holding Copper's hand. And you realize a bit of a bond has formed there. And there's a part of you that maybe, is glad for her sake that he didn't die. But with all that you've seen, Bertram, he's very lucky to be alive. You know how much tougher you are than Copper. I mean, Copper's a friend. He's a good guy, but he's not made as sternest stuff as you. And you felt like a tree fell on you. Copper is very lucky he's not just dead. Venric, you're sitting up, but every muscle, especially along that right side, is just sore. You see Clay's over helping Rigel, because Clay would have come out and help you with the horses.
Get them tied back up and whatnot.
And they don't want to be tied anywhere near the stink of that wyvern, so you have to tie them like near, on the other side of camp, away from that. Venric, is there anything you would be doing?
Venric is going to put his armor back on and go back to his spot and finish out his watch, because that was our first watch of the night, so it's still early on into the night.
Okay, but you realize you are exhausted and beat to hell. You're going to go ahead and try to just watch the rest of the night through?
No, well, I guess not. I was assuming the healing brought me all back up, which, I mean, I know it did, but the injuries still, so.
Yeah, so the way I run hit points, and this is for anybody watching, I do run hit points. Hit points is like your critical things, but the damage that you've taken, the exhaustion doesn't go away. It's like a rapid healing where you're still able to function, but your body has just taken a pummeling. So you can, but you're like swaying on your feet as you just stand up to put on your armor.
Oh, no, if I'm still like that, then I'll just check with Rigel.
I'll take it, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Rigel. Good work on finding the horse. And
Clay's like, I'll stand the watch with him, sir.
All right, Clay. Do what he says. Mind him.
Yes, of course, sir. He kind of plants his spear. He just stands right outside Venric's tent. And, kind of just like rigid and at attention. Arnold helps Bertram get up in the wagon. Kepri, again, just this mighty man that is the priest that you're getting to know. He looks like a wounded bear, though, as he kind of comes in. Bertram, would you stretch out on the floor, maybe near the fire, or?
Yeah, I want to make sure there's room for everyone else, but if there would be room, I would do that.
Oh yeah, there's room, because right now Kepri's in the chair next to the bed where Copper lays. Rigel's outside somewhere, as is Clay and Venric. So you only have Arnold right now, and Arnold's not laying down or anything. So there's plenty of room for you.
Stretch out and I lay a hand on my chest, and I'll use my last 2 healing hands on myself.
Okay. And go ahead and roll those. And Kepri, you see a a soft silvery whitish light play over Bertram's injuries, and he kind of like his eyes close and he just lets out a pained groan as he, and again it's like looking at a big cave bear or something, and Arnold's like, oh, we'll check on the others, and he kind of like limps toward the door and
Okay,
coughs.
why don't you stay in here? I'll go.
No, man, please, I don't. You're better with that. I want Copper to have everything he needs, and he shuts the door, like not even letting you have any further, conversation about it. He clambers outside and trudges through the mud and stuff and goes across. He sees Clay. Where would you be at, Rigel? Clay's kind of posted up in front of Venric's tent.
Rigel is going to post up. He's going to throw his big wool cloak over him, and he's going to post up at the very top of those rocks, like the big kind of multi-step rocks that are there.
He like clambers up and he throws that cloak over. Clay kind of loses, sees him do it, and it's like when you're hunting late at night or something, and it just looks like he's part of the rock formation there, as he just sits very still, and Clay's starting to get a realization of like, oh, like this guy is very good at what he does. Like you don't even know he's there most of the time. Arnold comes out, doesn't see him, just walks right past the rocks, like limps over to Clay. How's Sir Venric? And Clay's like, he's all right. He's resting. I'm gonna stand watch. By yourself? No. Rigel's over there. And he kind of looks. Oh, walks right past him. I'll stand the watch with you all. And he kind of, goes and he kind of like looks at his tent that's fallen apart, fishes through, and like Arnold like builds part of the tent where he can just sit in it, trying to like stay up. So he's doing his part as well. As the night continues, I'm only going to have one more roll through the night because this wyvern, for the first long part of the night, nothing would come near this after that thing. It's roars but as we get like on toward morning, who would like to roll a d6 for me? Maybe Kepri?
There you go.
All right, Rigel?
I'll do it. All right. That's a 5.
I thought for sure you rolled a 1. Okay. The night passes, and it's very overcast. Sky is like lead. There's no sign of the sun behind dense cloud layer. It's very foggy and misty. And Rigel, you're a ranger. You stay up. But both Clay and Arnold are going to have to give me saving throws versus paralysis to stay awake. With Rigel, he's I
do that old the old scouting trick where he'll literally have his bow like this and kind of slowly kind of like fall asleep, but like where he's still sitting
when he
up.
moves.
Yeah, but he's like if he hears anything, he can pop awake.
Yeah, he's right there.
Arnold got a 4.
Okay, Arnold, despite his best efforts, he falls asleep. The tent collapses on top of him. He doesn't even realize it. He's just sleeping hard in the mud. Sir Venric, what about Clay?
No, I need to roll for him. Sorry.
That's okay.
Clay got a 17.
Okay, Clay is amped up. He's keyed up. He's a little angry with himself, I'm going to tell you, because even though he followed orders, he's getting angry seeing the people he loves and cares about fly into danger and him just being kept out of it. And he just feels like his place is at your side no matter what. And he's struggling with that. And he just is going through it and just pacing. And Rigel, you wake up through the night. You kind of glance over. You see the drover has fallen asleep. The tent's collapsed on him. You glance over at Clay, and the squire is awake. He every now and then he actually goes and feeds the fire with a limb, block of wood, but you can hear him from time to time muttering to himself, although you can't really pick up on what he's saying. And dawn comes. It's just a very cold, blustery November day, and again, the rest of you awake except for Copper, of course.
Partway through the night, kind of like as dawn's coming, Rigel would kind of slide down the rocks towards Clay as kind of
Knife him.
fires as he's dying out, and kind of seeing him and stay up. How you doing, boy?
Oh, didn't see you there. Move like a cat. It's all right.
Quiet.
I know Sir Venric knows you and trusts you, and so I should have done more. I didn't. I stood there. Every time we get into danger, Sir Venric seems more concerned with my safety than I'm his squire. I'm supposed to accompany him. I'm supposed to be at his side at all times, and that thing could have killed him. I thought it killed Copper. Him and Brother Bertram. I mean, you understand where I'm coming from. You're a soldier. I want to do my part.
All right. Well, I hate to say it this way, lad. You're not the toughest. You're not the strongest. But you follow the one that could be. That's not us. We need to be smarter.
Well, and I need to get tougher and stronger. I'm going to be just like him one day.
No, you won't, lad.
And he, as you say that, he recoils from you like you slapped him. What do you mean?
Been around long enough to know. There's almost none like Sir Trusteal.
But I'm going to train hard. You'll see.
You'll be a good knight. I can already see that. There's something different about him, lad.
So I follow him. He's my master, but I'll show you. You'll see, Rigel. I'll make him proud. I'll make you all proud. We'll see. And he kind of starts to like slowly turn, like kind of putting in. He doesn't want to really talk about it anymore now.
And Rigel, as soon as he kind of realizes this young kid is like in his feels about all of it, and Rigel cares so little about that, he just literally turns around, goes back up to the top of the rocks, and says not another word for the rest of the night.
Yeah, and the Ranger's seen it all. I mean, because again, he was career soldier and a scout. I mean, you've seen boys his age die like more than you can remember. You've seen all manner of would-be heroes and things like that, and you're speaking from experience. And just like so many others you've warned and tried to talk sense into, you can see it's like his idol worship of Sir Venric is just. It's you're trying to talk sense and okay, this is how you survive, and he's just like doesn't want to hear that, and
he's young.
Yeah, and you go back to your perch, and about maybe an hour later, the sun starts to creep up. Not long after, there's the sounds of stirring as it's just cold, and everybody starts to get up, muscles protesting. And what does my party do?
Venric is going to take time to put his armor back on, and him and Clay will pack up their tent.
Okay. Clay will walk over. As soon as he hears you moving around, he'll help you. He'll come in and help you start. He grabs your breastplate and gets it ready for you and starts helping you gear up. You guys start striking your tent and everything. What's Kepri doing?
She will come out and make breakfast and see what the plan is going to be, because it's gotten derailed like 7 times. So
right. So right now, Kepri comes out. She starts making breakfast. You almost walk past Rigel, and you realize maybe I don't know, Rigel, are you stirring or are you just still keeping watch?
At this point, because he's going to be kind of coming down to break his tent down and things like that. So, yeah.
Okay. As you guys are doing this, Kepri, are you talking to Rigel? Because Venric's not out of his tent yet. They're still he's still getting his armor on and getting around and stuff.
Yeah. What are we doing, Rigel? Do we know?
Well, we know we've got a merchant showing up sometime today, I believe, with a wheel. But, well, maybe if he's traveling a wagon, we could maybe give him some money to help us transport copper back into Ruaven. Don't know. Just an idea.
Okay.
But
Oh,
Bertram said he was pretty rough.
yeah. They're bad.
What does Bertram do? You see Kepri. She gets up before you. She kind of fell asleep in the chair, and your wounds. You're like usually up much earlier, and you hear the door kind of gently behind her.
Hearing that, Bertram would get up and he would check on Copper, see how he's doing.
Okay.
And
He's very pale, very still, but you're an accomplished healer, and he's good. You don't fiddle with the bandages enough, but you check the skin around it, and check his vitals, and it's a critical time. His body is going to heal itself, or it's not. But you're fairly certain that with the aid you've rendered, given time, it will heal.
then he would get in front of the shrine and just kneel down and say his prayers.
Okay. All right. Bertram begins praying to the Argent Lord. Anything in particular, or just your daily devotions?
Well, he would do the daily devotions, but he would also add, please keep your hand on the Copper. He's a life that's in the middle of being changed for the good. Any extra health, any extra help, sent his way.
Okay. And, you feel that connection to the light as you also feel your spells being replenished. All right. Back outside, Venric, you and Clay, you finish getting your armor on. Clay begins to strike the tent. You step out, giving him a hand, and you can see Kepri and Rigel are talking over near the fire, where it looks like Kepri's got some breakfast going in a large pan. You guys see Arnal sits up. He's got mud up one side of his face, and he's just like, ugh. And his cough is deepened. It's like this, it's just like this racking cough. He definitely should not have slept out in the open in November. And you can see that it looks like Rigel and Kepri are, they're pretty deep in conversation. Not like exclusionary wise, but they're just speaking.
Well, Sir Bertram, or Brother Bertram,
You don't see Bertram. Bertram's still in there praying.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You see Rigel and Kepri, and you see, Arnal is gotten up. You can hear Bertram's prayers, deep rumbling voice from within the temple.
I will leave Bertram to that, but I'll approach Rigel and Kepri. So the blacksmith should be here at some point today with the wheel. God's willing, we're able to get this carriage back on the road. We'll ride right into Ruaven. We'll see about getting Copper some help. And we'll see if there's any leads on this bandit threat. I just want to let everybody know that you all did good last night. Could have been that we were all killed. Luckily, nobody was. It was a close call with Copper, but Brother Bertram seems to believe he'll pull through.
Something might help.
Yes. Wasn't a normal wyvern, I don't believe either, eh, Rigel?
Not from the looks of it, anyways. I mean, I've seen wyverns.
I think one of its
Mine-
parents was a true dragon.
You don't
Well,
say.
I don't. From everything I've ever read, wyverns don't have a breath attack like that.
Are wyverns intelligent creatures? Because that one clearly spoke. He spoke common tongue.
I don't think so. I think they are very cunning, but I don't think they can speak usually.
And Kepri, they usually don't. They're smarter than animals, but they usually do not possess, from your understanding, that level of intelligence.
I think it is part wyvern, but also part dragon.
What type of dragon breathes lightning?
It has blue scales, so I think a blue one, right?
Well, not many souls can say that they faced a dragon and lived to tell the tale. Maybe it wasn't full-blooded, but like you said, it was at least half dragon. We survived.
Gods.
How? I can't believe the evidence of my eyes that you fought that thing.
We did.
Aye, we all did. We all did. And something tells me that's not the last of it we'll see, but hopefully not anytime soon.
So, should we break down camp, waiting for this merchant?
Yes, we should clean up camp. Because as soon as he gets here, the sooner we can get the wheel attached to the wagon and back, the better. We need to get Copper to the temple. And perhaps find out what's going on with these bandits.
I can't wait to never look at this patch of road ever again.
And to Kepri, it's like, she's like, oh, cool, I got 5 minutes outside of, like, my first adventuring location, and then just endless
We got
horrors.
stuck here, and the plan changed like 15 times.
Uh,
It's supposed to be just a leisurely trip down to a tournament, but, you know,
Plans change.
yeah.
All right. Eventually, you guys continue then with your plan, unless there's anything else you guys want to.
Just start breaking
You
down.
guys start breaking down camp, striking the tents. Bertram comes out after a while. Seeing them, you can hear the sounds of the tents being taken down. Smells of breakfast. Kepri finally says, essentially soup's on. Although it's in this case, it's like some bacon that she scrounged from somewhere and fried in a pan, and there's some old hardtack biscuits and stuff. You guys are able to eat a pretty meager breakfast, but it tastes good. Oh, by the way, everyone mark off a ration.
Yep.
Bertram would have tried to find a way to shave off the charred beard and even it out as best he could.
Okay, so then you take some time, a little more time, and you do, you get most. It's kind of a little stubbly looking. You don't get it completely shaven. You're like, yeah, I need to get someone to see to this when I get to town. But when Bertram comes out, you guys have most of the camp broken down, and you look and you're like, whoa, you've never seen him without his thick beard.
Brother Bertram, you look 10 years younger.
It's weird. I feel 10 years older.
Aye. Apparently, Blue Dragon's lightning breath has that effect on people.
Is that what it was?
Invigorating?
No,
Not the word I would choose. No.
it ages you, and not for the better.
You all can see that, Venric and Bertram are both moving like stiffly, like almost like old men, even though neither one of them is. I think they're both in their 20s, maybe.
Yeah, late 20s.
But yeah, they're both moving like much older men. Your muscles are screaming, just being electrocuted like that, electrified like that. And so you kind of like, ugh, and you guys are able to get the tent broken. Rigel, give me a survival check and or knowledge nature.
Okay. That would be a 16.
You're kind of sitting there, and you guys are finishing breaking the camp, and you almost feel it rather than see anything, and the clouds are getting darker and darker, and you feel this pressure, and you sense there is a storm coming.
Gods or rain.
What?
You're not sure when. You think you've got some time, but it's coming. And about that time, you hear, and you guys glance around the traveling temple, and you see again, Sir Venric, you and Rigel know him, and you recognize the form of the blacksmith of Ruaven as he's riding. He's pulling a small cart. He's got some tools. He's got the wagon wheel, and Eric Ironbrand comes pulling up, and he's like, "Good morning."
Eric, well met.
Well, that's Sir Venric and Rigel. These must be your companions, Squire Clay. And he walks over to Bertram. He's like, Eric Firebrand.
Bertram.
Or Ironbrand, rather. Sorry. Bertram, yes. He goes over to Kepri. Eric Ironbrand. Pleased to meet you.
Met, Kepri.
He looks over at Arnold, who's actually got mud streaked up in his hair. He's like, Eric Ironbrand. He's like, "Oh, Arnold." Yeah. And he kind of is, Arnold's like putting away utensils and cleaning up things that were scattered when the tents just blew over. And he's like, "Bedroll's got mud in it." And he's like, "Well, I have the wheel. I can get right to work." And he kind of, you guys see him as he's talking, he's looking around seeing, because again, there's bodies that you guys have dragged off, and there's like carnage. He's like freshly.
Blood of the horse.
Yeah, like, and he's like, everything okay here?
We were attacked by the Blue Wyvern last night.
Blue Scale? You killed it? You killed Blue Scale?
No, we didn't kill it. It flew off with one of our horses, but we injured it.
Oh, you injured it? Well, that's good news. Oh, that'll make the sergeant very happy. You injured it. Maybe it'll leave. Maybe it'll leave the entire area. Oh, that would be excellent. You truly are heroes. And he goes around and he starts shaking hands with every one of you, as if like the beast were dead and its head is like hanging above the tavern, fireplace. Yeah. He's just so excited. It's like you recognize that this young man heard what he wanted to hear in that moment, and
like I say, Eric, he's not dead. He flew off. We injured it, but I don't know how badly injured it was. Hopefully it stays away for some time while it heals. I don't know. We almost lost one of our own, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. He kind of glances around looking for someone that's injured.
He's inside of the carriage.
Oh,
we aim to take him to the temple when we get back to Ruaven.
Yes, of course. Well, let's get this wagon wheel on. I can help you install it.
Bertram will walk over and help.
Okay. And Arnold does too. He kind of limps over, still coughing,
Bertram stops him. Arnold,
so right.
Go sit down.
Sir.
You need to rest.
Sir, we got to get this.
I've got it.
Copper to town.
I've got it.
Oh, all right, sir. And Arnold goes and limps over to the fire, and he looks a little chagrined, but he looks kind of gratefully sinks down on like the log next to the fire and just kind of warms his hands. And Bertram and the blacksmith Eric begin working on the wheel. And Bertram, you realize, whereas like you and Arnold, you did pretty good work. This guy's on it. His cart has got all the tools. He's like, it's just like boom, boom, boom. Even though he's not a Wainwright by trade, he is a blacksmith, and he is very, very handy. And it takes like half the time that it took you and Arnold. And before you know it, he's not rude about it, but he kind of slowly takes over the lead on getting it all put back on.
Yeah.
getting
I
the
just shifted to helper mode.
okay. And you all, before you know it, it's late morning and the wagon wheel is on. He's like, I know there's another one that you want. I believe there was another broken wagon wheel as well. But I got this one done so we could get you back to town. But you can get your horses hitched up and we can get on back.
I look over to Venric. Is there any other animal that could help pull?
Oh, yeah, my riding horse. He'll have to do for now. She'll have to do for now.
All right, and you hook up the mare, and you can tell instantly she is not digging it. She's like not trained for this. She's not. You get Rigel if he kind of comes over to help you, and the two of you are able to calm her, get her hitched up to it. She's not as big and strong as the other draft horse. She's built for speed, but you do get her hooked up and everything. And after some doing, and the blacksmith, he says, "Well, I'll head back to town with you." He's like, "That looks like a storm." And as he says that, you guys look up, and sure enough, Rigel, you were right. There is a storm coming, and
again,
it's like you guys.
Won't float.
Yep, you guys can feel the temperature dropping.
I just look at Arnold and said, "Get in the traveling temple."
You sure you don't want me to drive, sir?
Nope. Me and Rigel, will you help me with this horse?
I'll help you.
And I'll get up
Yes,
on
sir.
the buckboard.
And he goes in the temple, and again, once he's out of sight, he tries to appear proud, but once he gets in by the small fire, the pot-bellied stove, he just kind of sinks down gratefully. He just passes out again. So Bertram and Rigel are on the buckboard. Kepri, are you in the wagon again?
Yeah, I can be in there.
Or you don't have to be if you want to be elsewhere. You can ride on the
That's-
roof if you want.
No, she'll be in there. She'll keep an eye on Copper while Bertram's
Okay.
driving.
And you notice that you wouldn't, Bertram. You're out there. Where Rigel's on the buckboard. Where is Venric and Clay?
Venric and Clay are we're gonna march because now with Copper, Capri, and Arnold inside of the carriage, there's probably not enough space for the both of us, so we're gonna march. It's not too far to Ruaven from here, anyways.
All right, you guys begin trekking back. And why don't we have Venric roll me a d6?
4.
Okay. You are heading back, and you travel. It's very slow. And Bertram, what you find you're having to do, and it's really hard because you're also sore from getting nearly electrocuted, and the draft horse is not used to working with this more slender mare. He keeps wanting to pull harder, and so it's just a constant effort sawing at the reins to keep them both together and working together. And a couple of times she just wants to start bucking. Rigel leans forward to calm her, and this is a nightmare. You realize a well-trained team that's trained to work together and that are both trained to pull, that's an amazing thing. And this is just work, and you're just hurting, you're sore, you're everything. And it's about it, and it's slow going. It's about midday, and when you realize it should be the brightest out, dark clouds begin to gather. As you can see, roofs ahead, just a strong sleet just starts slamming into you guys as it's brutally cold, and you can see flecks of snow, and it doesn't quite turn to snow, but it's like this sleet that like these little like ice pellets just, and you're so glad you're almost to town. And the rest of you, as you look up, let me get the right.
Missing my beard, Rigel.
Well, you get used to it. And he points to a part of his face where it never quite heals back, and his beard is shaped around some sort of claw that's like on the side of his face, but it just gives this jagged, outline.
I see. Yes.
And you guys,
they don't.
those of you that have never been here before, you see I'll just real quickly. The road leading up to the village of Ruaven is well kept, as are the farms that dot the landscape to either side as you get closer. The village has palisade walls and towers, and the road leads up to a stout gate. The gate guards look more like militia than professional soldiers, but they do look fairly well equipped and trained at least. The village within looks well maintained and fairly prosperous. People going about their business with an ordered manner that seems almost languid and unhurried by the standards of larger settlements. However, the last part's probably not as true right now because everyone's hustling to get out of this weather. You can see farmers running indoors, and as you get inside, you can see the people that are inside the stockade walls are doing much the same. Everybody's, the militia guards they don't really even hold you up for more than a second once they see Eric Ironbrand and they recognize, and you see Eric excitedly, they drove the wyvern away. It might be gone for good. And they're like, what? Blue scale? Truly? And he's like, yes, they fought it. And Sir Venric said they defeated it.
Oh,
It's incredible.
well, we didn't defeat it. We wounded it, and it wounded us. We had combat with it, but this town doesn't need to let its guard down just yet. That thing could be back.
Well, still. And the guards are like, all right, well, we'll let the sergeant know. Will you all be heading to the inn?
I need to head to the temple.
Okay.
Yes, and probably the rest of us.
Bertram,
All right.
I'll help you get Copper settled in. Clay, you come with me. The rest of you probably should go to the inn and get some warm food and warm up.
I'll come with you and Copper.
Okay. So everybody's just going to pretty much head on to the temple.
Yeah.
Arnold's not going to leave Bertram in the temple. Rigel, you go as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So Benric, he tries to look out for you guys, but everyone's like kind of either worried about Copper or just, don't want to leave the group. You guys make your way, and you can see the temple is kind of like just directly across from the gate. It's a very small village. You can see a small temple of stone that bears a stained glass window of a warrior maiden as you get closer. And Bertram, as you kind of ride up, you have heard of this temple. You know it's the Temple of the Watchful Maiden. And you know that the goddess Agda, known as the Watchful Maiden, who was a saint of the church, much like the Argent Lord, who ascended to divinity and is worshipped as a goddess in her own right within the pantheon of the light. Agda is known as a warrior goddess who battles evil without forgetting the small folk of the world who cannot defend themselves. So she is also equal parts protector and warrior against darkness. And that is how she is viewed. And as you kind of see the stained glass window, you can see that in one hand, she bears what looks like a sword. And in the other hand, she has a sheaf of what looks like wheat, like in her outstretched hand, almost like handing it in the way it looks in the stained glass, like she's handing the sheaf of wheat outward, almost to feed. And you remember, studying this goddess. You guys pull up before the temple.
Yeah. And I'll, tie the reins off and
Actually,
down.
I'll sit with the horses while you guys get Copper set.
Thank you.
Okay.
Then I'll make my way to the back and ask Venric to help me gently lift Copper and carry him into the temple.
Yep, and I do just that.
All right. You guys swaddle him. And Bertram, you realize at this point you're going to need new bedding. This bedding is just pretty nasty. Just seeping wounds and mud and muck, and you realize you kind of don't even really want to wash these blankets. And in fact, it'd probably be best if you kind of wrap him in it, because you're going to go from warmth to cold and then back into the temple.
We'll do that.
Okay. You make your way out and, gently carrying him, the two of you helping him. Rigel's got the reins. He's just kind of sitting, with this. And again, this sleet is just intensifying. And you can already see there's like a rime of ice, hitting, that's beginning to form on buildings and on the wagon. It's crunchy underfoot. Clay's kind of hovering nearby, ready to give what help he can. His spear's propped up against the wagon. What is Kepri doing? Is she going in as well with them?
Yeah, she wants to see him get all settled.
Okay. Arnold makes to kind of go, and he's like, I'll stay.
No,
I'll stay with the
come,
horses.
Arnold. I want you to come too.
Oh, all right. Okay. And he kind of clambers painfully. He's coughing, and you guys head up to the temple doors.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm gonna see if I can open them.
And they swing wide. Within, you can see this is a small temple. There are candles along the walls. You can see the stained glass window lets in multicolored light. There are several benches lining either side of the temple, and there is a pulpit watched over by a statue of the warrior goddess, whose stern visage seems to weigh and judge all who step within the church, even as it is a very kind expression. And as you are walking in, you see a woman aided by two young acolytes, one male, one female, and she's a middle-aged woman who her hair is graying, but she has a somewhat stern, but yet kindly face, but she seems serious. And she turns, she goes, "Welcome to the formalities can wait. I see you have injured."
Wounded.
Yes. All right. Yes. Follow me. And she goes, and you realize this is such a small temple that in the back, behind where the altar is and stuff, there are a couple of rooms, a small kitchen, and stairs that lead down. And she says, "Please bring him below with me."
Cool.
And as you guys follow her down the stairs, you can see an undercroft where it's been, it's actually not like, it's very warm and cheerful, and you can see that there are sick beds and stuff. You actually do see one other, it looks like a villager who's lying his arms in a sling. He doesn't look like he's in a lot of pain, but he's kind of lying back in the pillows resting. She's like, "Here, bring him in. I want to get him a little farther back. I don't want him too near the door. I want to keep the draft off him." What happened to him?
We were attacked at night by a wyvern, and it breathed lightning on us. He did not do well.
I'd heard of this beast. I didn't know wyverns breathe lightning. Yes. Here, put him just here. And she
Gently lay him.
has the acolytes begin fetching her supplies. Bring my healer's kit. Bring fresh water, warm water. And she turns at that point and she says, "Annabelle Quinn, priestess of the Watchful Maiden. It is good to make your acquaintance."
Bertram.
Brother Bertram, I would take it.
Yes, Father Gedwin taught me.
Yes, I've heard of you. I've heard much of you. Fiona has spoken of you at length to me.
Oh, yes, this is where Fiona comes from.
Yes, this is her home. I don't need to tell you, I was a little saddened. I had hoped when she found her calling, she would serve here, but she felt more drawn to the Temple of the Argent Lord. And of course, who can blame her? Father Gedwin is legendary.
That he is.
But let's see to your friend. And about that time, the acolytes come in with supplies. She kind of stops. She turns where Venric has helped you in, and Kepri's standing by anxiously. Arnold's like in the doorway, and she says, "I mean no disrespect, and I'm sure this is a friend of all of yours. But I would ask that only those with healing abilities stay. Of course, Brother Bertrand, I would ask for your help and assistance."
Of course, my friend here as well, at some point, and I gesture to Arnold, needs help too. He's sick.
"Oh, I'm fine." And she walks over. "Nonsense. Move your hand." And he's kind of doing one of these. And she you realize she's kind of a tall, strong woman. And she kind of grabs his hand and pulls it down. She puts her wrist up to his forehead. "Yes, you're burning up. Get in that bed." She's like, "I don't believe what I just said was a question. Get in that bed." And he kind of stops. "Yes, ma'am." she tells one of the acolytes. She says, "Go and fetch." She mutters some other things. She turns. "You must be Sir Venric."
Yes, I'm Sir Venric.
"Everyone is talking about you, and I must say," and she steps forward very close to you and clasps your hands before you're ready to even say anything, and she says, "Thank you. The sergeant says you may be helping us."
Yes, actually, we need to speak with the sergeant again.
"Yes, well, may the watchful maiden bless you. I've business to attend here, but please know we are in your debt." And she turns to you then. "It is good to meet you."
Good to meet you. Oh,
I'm sorry. I should have said the name. I realized after I did it, I didn't say who I was addressing. She turns to Capri and,
It's good to meet you too. Is he gonna be okay?
"Light willing, I believe so. It looks like the work that was done already to him was done very well." And she turns and smiles at Bertram. "He's going to need time, and if you'll give me some space and some time, I believe he'll survive. But we need your friend here, Bertram, is an excellent priest, and I am no slouch in the healing department. The gods do much, but we who follow them must do our part. What you can do to best help your friend now is take care of yourself. We have 2 of your friends," and she glances over at Arnall as well, "to see to. Are there any other injured, Brother Bertram?"
No, there are no other injured.
And she looks at, Venric and Clay and Capri. "I know you're anxious for your friend. Believe me, we are going to do everything that we can. Why don't you take lodging at the inn? It's a comfortable inn. It's warm. The weather is horrible. And you're going to need to get your poor horses out of this weather sooner rather than later, for they catch their death."
I'll meet you guys at the inn when I'm finished here. Venric, will you have Rigel see to stabling my horse and putting the temple somewhere?
Yes, we'll make sure the horses are put up at the stable, and we'll be back at the end, Brother Bertram. Meet us there when you're done.
Thank you.
Always.
And she turns. She thanks you all, but she's kind of thanking you as she's kind of, "Yes, thank you," walking you toward the door. "Thank you. Yes, of course." And she gets you guys out. One of the acolytes leads you up, and he kind of turns, you see this young boy. He's maybe 13, and he kind of glances over at you, Capri, with a little bit of wonder. Like, you realize he's probably never really seen a halfling, and he says, "Mistress Annabelle she's known far and wide. There's no better healer in the Lonely Valley, save for, of course, Father Gedwin. She'll help your friend."
Thank you.
And the young boy, he leads you out and up, and you get close. He kind of cheekily says, "And of course, we accept all donations for services rendered. May the watchful maiden watch over you." He shows you out, and the door kind of. You get out there, and Rigel, you've been sitting out here, and as you are, this rime of this sleet, and it's heavy. It's like you realize there's going to be ice covering a lot of stuff, and all of a sudden a voice is like, "Rigel, wasn't it?" And you turn to see Sergeant Roy Fuller and a few guardsmen as they are walking up to the wagon.
"Sergeant, we were actually going to be looking for you."
"I see you got your wagon. Sir Venric, is he here?"
"He should be coming to the temple momentarily."
"Right. We should get these horses out of the weather, get you to the stable, and then get you all to the inn. This is no fit weather for man or beast."
I agreed. Head back there and...
Yes. Follow me. And as you get the traveling temple turned around, and about that time, Venric and Capri and Clay you guys step out. And again, the temple is warm. There are coal braziers giving heat and a fireplace back in the kitchen. And you guys step out from that into this sleet. and it's like winter is coming for sure. And you guys are just like shivering. You see that Rigel's turning the wagon around. You can see several guards nearby, and Sergeant Fuller's like, I told him to get it to the stable, Sir Venric. He walks over, and a big burly man, he extends a hand to you and shakes your hand. I'll meet you at the end. And he looks at kind of Kepri, he looks over at you and he says, and at first kind of goes to tousle your hair, thinking you to be like a child, and then he stops. He's like, yes, ma'am. Sergeant Roy Fuller.
She takes her tiny little hand and shakes it.
And it's again, he's a big guy. He's not as big as Bertram. And he's maybe the size of Venric, but not nearly in, like, he doesn't have the strength and just raw power of Venric is like ripped out. But he's like a pretty big, strong man, and he's like, yes, I'll meet you at the end. I'll make sure we have food and drinks ready for you. And Venric, what we spoke about, I've talked to the town, and they mean the reward is yours if you'll help us, and you don't have to pay for anything while you're here in town.
All right, we'll let's get settled in at the inn and we'll discuss this.
All right, and you guys make your way over to the Easy Canter stable. The rest of you have never been here. You see the wooden building with the sign of a horse and rider conveying it's a stable. It's well built and maintained, and you can see the gray-haired woman, Dolores Keats, who you've met. She says, Sir Venric, boy, that's a big thing. Let's get these horses. And she has you pull it into the yard where there's a couple other wagons, and she says, here, this will do. It's close enough. Let's get these horses unhitched and out of this weather.
Very good.
Okay. You guys, she very quickly, her and her grooms, they kind of do most of the work. Rigel helps a little bit, maybe Venric does, but again, they're quick. They get the horses unhitched. They get them in the stables. You notice the stables are pretty warm as well, and they get them rubbed down. They get blankets on them, and they get, they have hay and oats there for them, and they're instantly well cared for. And she's like, Sir Venric, no offense, but this horse is not a draft animal. The one I sold you.
Yes, I'm aware. We, circumstances had it to where she had to be, just for the day. A wyvern flew off with their other horse.
I heard. Word spreading like wildfire that you battled the beast. Do you need to take 5, Venric? Nope. Okay, nope. I got you.
I will be right back.
Okay, let's take 5, everybody.
Okay.
All right. You get the horses stabled, and Venric, Rigel, and Kepri, along with Clay, and also Dolores says, Sir Venric, we've talked about it for your aid. You don't owe us any money. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of everything. Your temple here, she doesn't call it a temple. She doesn't know that. She's like, your wagon here, it's safe. My home is right here, right next door. Keep a good eye on it. Your horses they're good.
Oh, many thanks.
You're very welcome. Y'all should get to the inn. Get out of this weather. I may join you for a drink there later.
All right. Well, let's head over there.
All right. You make your way through the streets, and by the time you get to the inn, the storm is in full effect, and they're starting to hail. You guys are running through the streets by the time, again, it's a small village, so it doesn't take you long to get there, but you're just kind of running top speed because hail starts to hit things, and you're just very glad to be off the road. As you get to, you make your way to the Traveler's Friend. You see a placard bearing an image of a bag of oh no, that's the shop. I'm very sorry. You make your way to the Pioneer Inn. This well-built 2-story inn is of wood construction with a thatch roof and bears a placard of a covered wagon with a man and woman on the seat. Within, the flagstone floors are as clean as the tables and bar, and the staff seems friendly and welcoming. You can see that stairs lead up to the second floor where there are no doubt rooms available for rent, and another set leads down to the cellar and what you would guess would be a kitchen below, judging by the smells. As soon as you enter, a large burly man with a balding head and a pleasant smile welcomes you. And you see Kirk Wallace, the innkeeper that you met before, Sir Venric. He's like, my friends, please come in. We've got a table for you. You can see there's a large table that's been cleared out. As you guys enter, the warmth hits you in the face. The smell of food, you can smell just mouth-watering food. And for a moment, it comes home to you that this is what you are protecting when you're on the road, when you're fighting, when you're battling evil creatures in darkness. Without civilization, without places like this, warm and welcoming places, the world is a horrifying, just terrible, dark, dreary place. And this is what, goodly creatures like humans and elves and halflings and dwarves, that's what they bring, hearth and home. And you just have that moment wash over each and every one of you as you're just so grateful. And a couple of the barmaids come over. One, you can see Callie Barton, the one that Clay was making eyes at. And now that he's sober, he just turns all kinds of beet red. He can't even look her in the eye. And she smiles. She's like, "Hello, Clay." And he's like, "Hi, Callie." She comes over, and there's another. Odette, which is the other barmaid, and they get you settled because they have this whole table reserved for you. And Callie kind of stops. She says, I think, weren't there more of you? No,
Yes.
It's fine. I know the sergeant will be joining you anyhow.
The others are at the temple. They'll be here before too long.
I see. Well, please be seated. And you guys can see they put on quite a spread. And they start with fresh greens, then they bring you some mutton stew, and it's just mouth-wateringly good, like rounds of ale or wine as you please, or even just fresh water if that's... You actually can see there's actually milk on the table as well. There's fresh baked bread, like dark brown loaves of bread, and just creamy butter, and it's just a spread. It's even a nicer spread than you had before. And you can see over by the bar that Sergeant Fuller is talking to Kirk, Wallace, the innkeeper, and they're kind of deep in conversation. And, a couple more minutes go by, and you see Dolores Keaton. She walks in and kind of makes her way in. And do you guys go ahead and set to eating and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Venric will... At one point, Venric will just kind of go to Clay. No more than one ale today, Clay.
And he kind of ducks his head. Yes, sir. And he actually doesn't. He doesn't drink any ale. He reaches for a milk. He just like pulls a milk close and takes a little drink.
Venric nods approvingly.
At some point, Rigel kind of sidles up to Sir Venric, and he goes, "And you wonder why I wanted to come following you?" And he kind of points to this, more or less feast at this table. You realize I once survived for 2 weeks off of 7 hardtack biscuits and a tin of honey.
Well, Rigel, if it wasn't for you, our horses would have been lost multiple times, so you've earned it, my friend.
And he gets into eating.
Yep. And you guys eat, and after this mutton stew, they bring out actually what looks like a roast boar, a whole roast boar, and it's got an apple in its mouth, and they kind of set it in the center of the table. And Kepri, you're just like, this is a mountain of food, and you're a halfling. Your people know how to eat. You know how to throw down, but you're like, and about that time, you see several other people entering, but they don't really kind of approach. And as they're kind of all just talking over by the bar, and Sergeant Fuller waves. He's like, "Please eat, my friends." And any of the other locals who don't, I'll say it this way, you see some of the more nicely dressed locals are kind of in discussion. And whenever any of the regular locals, like a farmer or maybe a craftsman, seem to maybe want to approach and talk to you. They are headed off by Sergeant Fuller or the other militia. They're like stopped. They're like, nope. Like one guy comes up, he's like, I heard that, and he's like this, Sergeant Fuller like walks over, he's like, nope. Get walking. He's like, well, I, and he says, and he kind of looks over as he's talking, he says, do you want me to get Gregor? And you guys notice, and you noticed him before, there's a big man. He's almost Bertram's size, just a big, just brawny looking bouncer. And his name's Gregor Ashton. And he's always by the door. And he's like, and the sergeant's like, do you want me to get Gregor? Because you know how gentle he can be. And Gregor's like, what? Name? And then you see this guy's like, nope, you don't need to get Gregor. Nope, no need for that. And he kind of just wanted to say hi walking. And he goes and he's like, sorry, my friends, please continue your meal. And they're like cordoning you guys off. They're not letting anyone like really bother you guys. It's like your royalty.
Kind of nice.
Well, can almost get used to this.
Venric, as you say this, the door finally opens and Bertram walks in. And Bertram, again, you shake off outside the wind is howling. And Bertram, your entire face is like plastered. And you guys can see what's left of his beard is like caked with frost and frozen water and hail. And Bertram's like hunched against the cold. But as you walk in, Bertram, you know the good news is Copper's going to be okay. He's going to pull through.
I'll walk up to the table. I'll say he will make it. The light prevailed.
And Clay's like, thank the gods, that's such good news. And Bertram, as you do, you're wore out, you're exhausted. This heat hits you. It feels so good. You see your friends are like empty plates, and this smell of this food hits you, and it's
started without me, did you? I look over to Clay and I'm like, Clay, which one is she?
She? Sir?
There was some talk of...
Oh, no, she. Here, sir, try the mutton. It's delicious.
And in a loud voice, Bertram will stand up and point at Clay and say, I challenge you, Squire, to an arm wrestling contest. And he'll plunk down in front of him with his arm.
What? What are you doing? What are you doing?
And I'll wink at him.
He glances at Venric. Sir?
Clay, you've been challenged. You must accept.
Okay. He puts his shaking, quavering hand up. And again, it's this skinny little 15-year-old kid, raw-boned and just painfully thin, and this bear of a man. Your hand engulfs his, Bertram.
And I will, do the countdown to 3, and then I'll make my bald head as red as I possibly can and start making my arm quiver, and I will slowly let him win the arm wrestling match.
Clay at first is like scared. His face goes. Then he realizes. And then he's like, wait, no. He's seen the mighty Bertram, just drop orcs with his hammer. And then he realizes what you're doing, and it's almost comical because he's like, and then Bertram, is still got that serious look. He's like, oh right, and he winks back, and he kind of, he's like, ah! And again, even when he does this, he's so thin. He's very fit young man, but he just needs a sandwich or 10, and eventually, and then you see people around him kind of like, most of them tumble to what's going on, and you can see Sergeant Fuller's cracking up, and has this Gregor Ashton, and the bouncer kind of meanders over, and he's not talked much. He's like, he kind of leans down. That was well done, my friend. And he kind of cuffs Clay on the shoulder. He's like, you need an ale, young man. And he's like, no ale. I'm good, thank you.
Oh, it's the milk. The milk's making you strong.
And you can see that the serving maid, Callie, she smiles over at Clay, and he's just beat red, like down to his neck into his tunic, and he can't say anything. You do notice it's at that time that you guys are winding down the meal. It's delicious. You guys are full. And Sergeant Roy Fuller walks over. He's like, my friends, we had hoped, some of the town elders and I, that we could meet with your group. Perhaps we have a back room ready. Perhaps a bit more drinks and some dessert. We could perhaps talk back there in private. If you're full, if you've gotten enough to eat, of course.
Brother Bertram, have you had your fill yet?
I look back at the roast hog. Is there much of it left?
It's there's about half of it still there.
Kind of look around, and I'll reach over and I'll grab off as much as I can rip off.
You rip off like a whole haunch.
I'm ready. Let's go to the back now.
You kind of gnaw on it as you go.
Yeah.
Okay. And you do. And they take you into it's like a back kind of private dining room area that they probably use for this. And remember Venric and Rigel, when you were here, they don't really, it's small, but they don't even have a town hall. So a lot of the local business is just done here at the end. And back in there, you can see there's a small table. It's loaded with more refreshments. One of the serving wenches comes in and slides a plate under Bertram, who's kind of gnawing on this pork loin, this whole haunch. They gesture you to the seats of honor at the place, and you notice that several people have entered in. And one of them is Kirk Wallace, and he says, right then, I want to welcome everybody to the Pioneer. I'd say it's an honor to have you all here, especially our visitors, our guests. And he says, so with that, I'll turn this meeting over to Sergeant Fuller. And Sergeant Fuller stands, and again, this is a long table, and you can see there are several other people seated around. He goes, well, good to have you all here. We have, as we go around the table, we have, of course, Dolores Keats, and you guys recognize the stable owner, and she the gray-haired woman nods at you all. We have also with us, from the Traveler's Friend, Norman Willett, and you can see that Norman he's an older man. He's just got a sour face, kind of pinched look to him. He's very thin and stooped, and he kind of like that Mr. Burns looking guy, and he's like, kind of looks around at you. I'm at. And he says, right. We have with us also Eric Ironbrand, our smith, and he's like, I believe you're acquainted. And he's like, yes, I've gotten to know them a little bit. Good to see you all. He says, of course. And as we go, we also, there she is, Sister Annabelle Quinn. And you look to see the sister has just come in out of the weather. She hangs her wet cloak off to the side and takes her seat. And she's saying to their friend who was badly injured by Bluescale the Wyvern, who was driven off, I might add, but we'll get to that. Yes, and we also have with us, Vincent and Carlotta Gale. And you can see a really well-dressed couple, probably, upper middle years, maybe in their late 30s, early 40s. They're well dressed. Everything about them. They have nice rings on their fingers, brooches on gold chains, puffy warm coats, and they're wearing fashionable hats. They very much seem out of place. And Kepri, you recognize they're wearing some of the latest styles currently within the capital. And since you've come south into the Shatterlands, you've not seen, she's wearing this slash puffy sleeve dress. And she actually smiles at you, and at first you're like, why is she looking at me? And she's looking very appreciatively at your robes, because they're very fashionable, because you're from the capital and you dress well. I'm assuming you do. Maybe that's an assumption I shouldn't make, but Capri strikes me as someone that wears very nice clothing. And yes, and finally we have Garrett and Christine Lorne. These are, many of you may know, these are, I believe Brother Bertram is acquainted with their daughter, Fiona. And Bertram, you find yourself at this moment where you meet the rather austere, burly-looking father, Garrett, the father of Fiona and Christine. These are, people again. They're maybe in their early 50s, and they know he looks like a strong-shouldered farmer. And again, maybe not the moment that because you're like you have a haunch of pork that you're like kind of gnawing on as they make this introduction, and you're like mouthful, and they kind of nod.
I'll stand up and kind of wipe my hands off, and I'll walk over to him and I'll reach out a hand and shake it as hard as I can.
He grips your hand. He kind of grins. Fiona speaks very highly of you.
Daughter's a heck of a cleric. I got to say that. Heck of a cleric. And I do the same to the mother. She's a heck of a cleric. I just wanted to say that up front.
She's like, thank you. Thank you, young man.
Loves the light. And then I'll go sit down.
Okay, as you go sit down and return to your haunch of pork and everything, and again, I mean, it's you guys get the sense this is all the movers and shakers from the town. This is everybody that is important. And Sergeant Fuller says, yes, well, I want to formally introduce you all. Here we have, I believe your name is Kepri. Did I say that right?
Yes.
And he kind of motions for you to stand, and you're kind of small anyhow. Please,
she does, and her head's just kind of barely over the table.
She kind of looks around, and they actually clap. When they it kind of not like real loud or loud cheers or anything, but they. Yes, Kepri is a wizard, I believe, very accomplished. She's from the capital. Yes, and here we have, this is, I believe, Rigel. I met him earlier. He's their scout and ranger. Please, my friend. He gestures for you to stand as well.
Rigel will so awkwardly stand, like he's not used to getting accommodations in any way, shape, or form. He just like kind of awkwardly stands up and then just sits back down.
And they clap. Of course, we have over here, this is the Brother Bertram. All of you have no doubt heard of him, and if you haven't, you should have. This is Father Gedwin's right-hand man. You have no doubt Sister Fiona has spoken at length. She believes that Brother Bertram will succeed Father Gedwin. She's almost certain of it. And he says, isn't that right, Sister Annabelle? And she says, yes, indeed. And Brother Bertram is an excellent, excellent healer. I can attest to that firsthand. Their friend Copper, we were able to see to him, and Brother Bertram no doubt saved his life. And please, Brother Bertram.
Bertram will set down his haunch of pork, and just as awkwardly looking as Rigel, he'll just kind of look around. All glory to the Argent Lord and the light. And then he'll just kind of bow, nod, and sit down as quick as he can.
And you having a little bit more renown, that they clap a little bit louder, and then he kind of turns, he says, and this young strapping man, this is Clay, the squire, to our knight. And Clay looks at Venric like, what do I do? And they're kind of gesturing for him.
And stand, Clay.
And he kind of stands up, and right about that time, you guys see Callie come in with fresh drinks. And he immediately goes beet red, and anyone with half an eyeball can see what's going on there. And they kind of clap, some of them chuckling. And then Sergeant Fuller says, and of course, this is our esteemed Sir Venric Truesteel. His family lineage goes back very far. He is a mighty knight of great renown. Please, Sir Venric, stand.
I'll stand and give them the half bow.
And they clap, again. They clap loudest of all. They know Venric. Venric is the spitting image of the hero in the tale. And by now, you get the feeling that the story has been told and grown about how you fought a wyvern and you single-handedly drove it off. Whether that's anything remotely next to the truth, it doesn't matter. People will like right now, Eric Ironbrand, you even hear him, he's like, and he stood there face to face, and he drove that beast off. One-on-one, they fought in combat. And Eric's like, and someone's like, well, I heard that he was hurt too, and his friends had. And Eric's like, I'll knock your teeth right out of your head. What about that? And then the other guy's like, well, Eric, he's like, no, you don't know. I know him. And Sergeant Fuller's like, yes, Sir Bernard. He's like, okay, let's calm down. Eric, no one will be knocking anyone's teeth out. Let's, please, we have enough problems. And Venric, you sit down, and it's then, Venric, that you realize, you're nearly at the head of this table. Bertram is to your right, and Sergeant Fuller is to your left, where he was standing. And he says, but Sergeant Fuller is standing. He says, "Now, my friends," and you can hear again the sleet just spattering off of the windows, and outside the wind is howling. We must discuss the events at hand, and I, of course, would like to say, we're very honored. And he turns to your group. We're very honored to have you all here among us, and we've all heard what happened on the road. Although we, from our understanding, you were able to drive Blue Scale off. Is that true?
Yes, we did. We drove him off. He did his damage to our group as well. One of our friends, two of our friends are injured at the temple, but one of them he was nearly killed. Copper, he's at the temple now.
And you can see Sister Annabelle nodding to the severity of his wound. She's like, just kind of nodding in agreement. But still, he's driven off. And for all we know, he may flee back to wherever he came from, or at least go to his lair to lick his wounds. Winter is upon us. He's a big lizard. Maybe he won't come back for some time. Who knows, right?
It's possible, but the town guard shouldn't let their guard down.
Of course not. And it's at this point that you hear this old Norman Willett. He's like, "Well, if he's not dead, they don't get that reward." And he's like, and you can see Fuller like shoots him like a glance full of venom. Like, "No one said that, Norman. Did anyone say that?" You can see the sergeant just kind of like, "What I'm saying is, if the wyvern has been at least even partially dealt with, we can consider the next problem. I've spoken to Sir Venric, and while I've not been able to secure a definitive answer, and while it's terrible, of course, that their friend is injured, they've suffered damage to their wagon and things like that. They are here now. And Sir Venric, we have spoken among ourselves. We can raise the reward for dealing with what you've already done, even though the wyvern attacked you. And if you and your group would deal with the Bonebreaker bandits, we have," and he kind of goes like this, and you see a couple of the other men step forward, and they set a chest. It's a pretty big sized chest, and he kind of, and they open the top, and you can see it's filled with gold and silver. This is 500 gold. This reward is yours if you and your group. What do you call yourselves?
Fenric will look to Brother Bertram.
Don't make me say this.
Wasn't it the Aegis?
Yeah, but the Aegis. Okay, the Aegis. That's it. I can say that.
The Aegis. Very well. If your group, the Aegis, will take this on, this reward will be yours, as well as, and you can see, Fuller is like, "We will be forever in your debt. Ruaven will be your home. You'll be saving a lot of lives." And he just kind of leaves the treasure chest sitting there, lid open, again. And you guys realize, even these wealthier citizens must have all scraped and scrimped the coin together for this moment. And they've put this big feast on for this moment because they are trying to secure a definitive, like, yes, we will do this. And he's kind of like, he looks at you all. What say you, my friends? Can we count on your help in this?
Venric will look to Rigel. Rigel, do you think you can track the Bonebreaker bandits down? Can you lead us to them?
Oh, I'll find them. Don't worry about that.
Bertram? Well, aye, Rigel. Bertram, what say you?
I lean into Sir Venric and I say I had a vision of the angel that led me past this place to the hills in search of St. Cathel's shrine. But if I'm not mistaken, I do believe it's the will of the light that this place. And I will find this shrine, but these people are in need. I think it's my duty to help.
All right. Might as well. We can't leave this town so hopeless like this. And I will turn to the sergeant and look him right in the eye. We'll deal with the bandits.
Yes. And he jumps to his feet, and actually, they all do, except for cranky old looking Norman Willett. Even the more the wealthy Gale, the couple, they stand to their feet. Everyone's cheering. A couple of them throw their hats, and you actually see one of the serving maids kind of that was in there getting drinks. She opens the door. They said yes, and like you realize looking out there, the tavern is full. Like there's a lot of the townsfolk in here, and they all start cheering. Someone starts playing a little, and the band strikes up, and they just start singing, and it's like merriment is had, and they're cheering, and it's like they don't even want to talk any further. They don't. It's like we're saved, and essentially, Sergeant Fuller kind of steps in and claps Venric on the shoulder. My friend. Thank you. You had me worried.
No. Well, we couldn't just leave you in need like this. I think, like Brother Bertram said, it's fate that we're here at this time.
And it's at that time you hear, and the chest is closed, and you see this vulture-like form of old man Willett, kind of. And what if they try and make everything worse? What if they just stir up the bandits and then leave? What about that? Have any of you thought of that? And they all look around at this sour-faced old man, and you see that Sergeant Fuller's like, they wouldn't do that, Norman.
We've already killed, by my count, at least 25 of them.
25? Get this man an ale! Get them all ales! And you see Clay, no ale. And they, and essentially at this point, Willett is just overturned as everyone's cheering. The band starts playing. Before you know it, everyone is like pulling you guys out to dance and join in the merriment. And that is where we'll call it for tonight.